Hi everybody, welcome to the next part of our chapter, reflection of light at curved and plane surfaces. So recently we had first part of this video, that is reflection of light at plane surfaces and what are the basics of reflection of light. So now we are going to have the second part of the same chapter, that is reflection of light at curved surface, and we are going to learn so many things about it. Before starting the video, I would like to tell you that if you want to know about many other topics of physics, you can log on to youtube.com and then you can just search my name, channel name, that is Amula Naresh Online, and you can subscribe to gain the access over all the videos of physics and chemistry. Right, so let us start the topic. Firstly, curved mirrors. What are curved mirrors? Already we know what are curved mirrors. In our last video we have seen about curved mirrors. There are mainly two types of curved mirrors. They are concave and convex mirror. So before going to the properties of both mirrors, then we will understand what are the main points, important areas and important parts of the curved mirrors. The first one is pole. So what is pole? The geometric center of the mirror is called as pole. You can see this is pole. So pole is geometric center somewhere here on the principal axis. Exactly geometric center of the mirror is considered as pole. Then what is principal axis? Okay, principal axis is also a normal ray passing through the pole of the mirror. You can see here, this is principal axis. This line, normal line, is principal axis which is passing through pole. So it is also a normal, but it is passing through pole of the curved mirror. Either it can be a concave mirror or it can be a convex mirror. Then what is center of curvature? In the last video we have learnt about center of curvature of different mirrors like concave and convex mirror. Concave mirror, all the normals intersect at a point on the principal axis, and that is called as center of curvature of concave mirror. And in the case of convex mirror, the extended rays of normals will intersect at a point on the principal axis, and that is called as center of curvature. That means the point where all the normals intersect, that is center of curvature. You can see here it is center of curvature. That means as it is a convex surface, the normal rays, extended rays will go and meet on the center of curvature, this point on the principal axis. Then what is focus? The point of convergence of parallel beam of light which is incident, and that rays are parallel to principal axis. All those rays will converge at a point, and that is called as focal point. That is for concave mirrors. Whereas convex mirror, focal point is a point where all the parallel rays in parallel incident rays which are parallel to principal axis appear to be coming from a point on principal axis. It is a virtual point, and that is focal point for convex mirror. For concave mirror, it is a point of convergence of all the parallel rays which are parallel to principal axis. All the incident rays, after the reflection, they'll meet at a point on principal axis, that is focal point. And the condition is that the incident rays must be parallel to the principal axis. So this is regarding the focus. So focus is a point of convergence or divergence of parallel beam to the principal axis. Now, what is radius of curvature? Radius of curvature is determined as the distance between pole and radius of curvature, center of curvature of a mirror. For example, the distance between this pole and focal point is called as focal length. As it is mentioned here, focal length is the distance between pole and focus, that is focal point and pole. This is called as focal length. And whereas radius of curvature is the distance between pole and center of curvature, it is called as radius of curvature. This is only up to center of curvature. So focal length is the distance between pole and focal point, whereas radius of curvature is the distance between pole and center of curvature. Right. Focal length is denoted by capital letter F, and radius of curvature is denoted by capital letter R. And R is always twice the focal length. That means this is the relation between focal length and radius of curvature. You can see radius of curvature is always twice that of focal length and focal length is always half of the radius of curvature. And the second thing is radius of curvature of plane mirror is infinite. You can see because it is a plane mirror and a plane object will not have any radius of curvature because it does not belong to any sphere. So its radius of curvature is infinite. This is must known fact. So this is regarding the curved mirrors and the important points on the curved mirror. So we will move to the next slide, that is what are the different things about radius of curvature, right? So what are the differences? What are the differences between the ray diagrams of concave and convex? After this we will be having a complete notes of what is going to be the difference between concave and convex mirror. The first rule. So firstly, what are rules of drawing the ray diagrams? So to trace an image, for example, there is a concave mirror and you have an object placed in front of a concave mirror. Then there must be some rules to draw the ray diagrams of that image. So that rules are these ray diagram rules. So the first rule is that if the light ray is parallel to principal axis, you can see here the light ray is parallel to principal axis here. Incident ray is parallel to principal axis and it falls upon a concave mirror. Here we are considering a concave mirror. This one is concave mirror. So the incident ray is parallel to principal axis and it falls upon a concave mirror. It will pass through a point on principal axis and that point is focal point. This point is called as focal point. If there is one more ray passing parallel to principal axis, let us assume this is passing parallel to principal axis, even this one will also pass through the same point. That means all the parallel rays which are parallel to principal axis, parallel to principal axis, after the reflection they will meet at a single point on the principal axis and that point is focal point. This is rule number 1. That is, if light ray is parallel to principal axis, it will pass through the focal point. Second, the same rule applies for convex, but it is a bit different. The rule is, if the light ray is parallel to principal axis and it falls upon a convex mirror, then the reflected ray appears as if it is coming from the focal point. That means if you extend the reflected ray, it will meet at the focal point of this convex mirror. You can see that it is meeting at a point of on the principal axis, that is focal point. So concave mirror, it passes through the focal point, whereas in convex mirror it appears to be coming from the focal point. This is rule number 1. And the rule number 2 is that if the light ray is passing through the focal point and falls upon a concave mirror, then it will be parallel to the principal axis. So it is vice versa. And same in the case of convex mirror also. That means if a light ray is passing through the focal point or passing in the direction of focal point of convex mirror, then it will come back parallel to the principal axis. So this is rule number 2. Then rule number 3 is, the rule number 3 is, if the light ray falls upon the pole of a concave mirror, then you have to measure the angle between this incident ray and principal axis. It will be equal to the reflected ray. Then it will reflected ray will also go with the same angle. That means law of reflection holds right here. That means angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. Here same in the case of convex mirror also. If the light ray falls upon the pole, then it reflects back with the same angle. Right? This is regarding the differences. Now we will have a complete notes about concave mirror and its rules. The first rule is that if the light ray is parallel to principal axis, then it will reflect back through the focus. So this is number 1 point. Then second rule is, if the light ray passes through focus, then it will go parallel to the principal axis. This is rule number 2. And if the light ray is passing through center of curvature, then it will come back in the same path. This is number 3. If the light ray is passing through center of curvature, it comes back in the same path. And the rule number 4, that is which we demonstrated earlier, that is if light ray falls upon the pole, angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. This is regarding the concave mirror. Regarding the convex mirror, if the light ray is parallel to principal axis, as we discussed earlier, if the light ray is parallel to principal axis, the reflected ray appears to be coming from focus of the convex mirror. If the light ray passes through focus, rule number 2, that is if the light ray passes through focus, then it appears as if it is parallel to the principal axis. It won't appear, it will come back parallel to the principal axis. Rule number 3 is if light ray goes in the direction of center of curvature, then it will reflect back in the same way. Rule number 4, that is light ray falls on the pole, it always reflects in the same angle, that is angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. This is regarding the rules of drawing the ray diagrams for concave and convex mirrors. Now, positions of images formed for different object distances. First, concave mirror. What happens when we place an object at different positions in front of a concave mirror? So the number 1 case is case number A. You can see here in the case number A, the object is placed at the center of curvature. The object is placed beyond the center of curvature at infinity distance. Then image is always formed at focal point. This is rule number 1. When the object is placed at infinity distance, then the image is formed at focal point. Next thing is, if the object is placed beyond the center of curvature, then the image is formed between focal point and center of curvature. You can see the nature of the image. Object is erect, whereas image is inverted. Hence it is inverted image, it is a real image and diminished image. In case of C, that is when the object is placed exactly on the center of curvature, what happens is the image is also formed at center of curvature. That means if the object is at C, then image is also formed at C, that is center of curvature. And the properties are, the image is real, inverted and same size. The case number 4, that is D. In this case, when the object is placed between focal point and center of curvature, this is focus and this is center of curvature. So when the object is placed between focus and center of curvature, the image is formed beyond the center of curvature. These two are completely reversed, that means vice versa. If the light ray is at center of curvature, it is formed at center of curvature. These two are completely vice versa. That means if the light ray is beyond the center of image, if the object is beyond the center of curvature, image is between pole and focal point. If the object is between pole and focal point, image is beyond the center of curvature. Nature of the image is real, inverted and enlarged image. Whereas if the object is placed exactly at a focal point, what happens is image is not at all formed, because the reflected rays will be parallel to each other, so there will not be any image formed. Hence image is at infinity. And if the object is placed between pole and focal point, let us assume this is focal point F. So if the object is placed between pole and focal point, the image is formed behind the mirror, you can see. So image is formed is here somewhere. So this image is virtual image because it is formed by the intersection of extended rays. Hence it is a virtual image, enlarged image and erect image because it is virtual image. This is regarding the concave mirror. What happens in case of convex we will discuss. In case of convex, the light ray always diverges, we know that, and doesn't matter whether the object is placed beyond the center of curvature or on the center of curvature, wherever the object is placed, image is always formed between pole and focal point. Case number 1, case number 2, case number 3, case number 4 and case number 4 and case number 5. These are the images, and you can see that in all the 5 cases, image is formed between pole and focal point. There is no difference between any size. The image properties are always same, that is real, it's not real, it's virtual image and erect image, as well as it is diminished image. So object, whether the object is placed beyond the center of curvature, on the center of curvature, between focal point and center of curvature, or on focal point, or between focal point and pole, always the image is formed behind the mirror, that is virtual image is formed, and nature of the image is virtual, erect and a diminished image. So this is regarding the position of the mirror, positions and image formation. Now what are the sign conventions and what is mirror formula? So mirror formula, if you see, so 1 by f is equals to 1 by u plus 1 by v is mirror formula, where f is focal length and u is object distance and v is image distance. So this is the mirror formula. 1 by f is equals to 1 by u plus 1 by v. This is mirror formula. This is termed as mirror formula, which is used to find the focal length of the mirror based upon the object and image sizes. Then what are sign conventions? Sign conventions are when to take positive, when the distance should be taken as negative, and when the distance should be taken as positive. Okay, focal length is taken as positive for convex and it is taken as negative for concave, because it depends upon the direction of incident light. If you are moving opposite to the direction of incident light, then the distance is taken as negative, and if you are moving in the direction of incident light, then the distance is taken as positive. So where is the reference point? The reference point must be pole of the mirror, whether it is concave or convex. So all the distances should be measured from the pole, first point. Second point, if the distance is opposite to the direction of incident light, then it is negative. Is in the direction of incident light, then it is positive. So in case of concave mirror, focal length is negative. In case of convex, it is positive. And object distance is always negative. U is always negative because it is opposite to the incident light. And V is taken as positive if it is virtual image, that is in convex mirror or concave mirror. And it is taken as negative if it is real image. So these are the rules of sign convention and mirror formula. Then what is magnification? Magnification is a property of the image which tells us about whether the image is enlarged or diminished, whether the ratio of object to image size is larger or smaller. So magnification formula is M is equals to HI by HO, that is minus V by U, where HI is height of the image and HO is the height of the object, and V is object distance, whereas V is image distance, whereas U is object distance. So if magnification is greater than 1, then the image is enlarged, and if the magnification is less than 1, then the image is diminished. Remember this point. If magnification is greater than 1, then the image is enlarged. If the magnification is less than 1, the image is diminished. Then if the magnification is positive, then the image is virtual, and if the magnification is negative, then the image is real. So real image always have a negative magnification and virtual image always has a positive magnification, right? So fine guys, this was the thing which we discussed regarding curved mirrors. And if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the continuous updates of all the videos which I upload into my channel. And I thank you all for supporting me. If you have any doubts or if you want to give me any suggestions, you can give your comment below the section. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.